In the deep dark of space, everything was quiet. The war had ended many years ago. Earth was gone. The humans were gone, or so the galaxy believed. Commander Tarek sat in the control chair of his patrol ship. Vigil. His ship floated near the edge of Sector 9G, close to old ruins and dead stars. Nothing moved here. No trade ships, no pirates, only silence and space dust. He stared at the monitor. Boring patrol duty again? Then the signal came. It was weak, broken, and full of noise. A small red dot blinked on the corner of the screen. The AI voice spoke softly. Unidentified signal detected. Origin, dead zone. Language, ancient Earth code. Tarek sat up. Earth code. That's impossible. He touched the console. The signal repeated, static. Then 3 short beeps, 2 long ones. It sounded old, almost like Morse code. He asked the ship AI translate it. A moment passed, and the AI said, message. Reads, we are alive. Tarek's eyes widened. Run it again. The signal repeated. Same message, over and over. It came from a dead system, the Meridian Belt. That system was destroyed in the final Varnic-Human War. 80 years ago. No one lived there. No one even visited. He called for his crew. Lieutenant Mara and Zoe, come to the bridge. Both officers arrived quickly. Mara, the ship's engineer, looked confused. Sir? Something wrong? He pointed to the screen. Look, they listened to the signal, Enzo. The young pilot frowned. But Earth is gone. No humans survived. That's what the history books say. Tarek nodded slowly. Yes. But that signal is in real time. It's coming now. From that system, Mara asked. Could it be a trick? Leftover transmission? Tarek shook his head. Not possible. The signal is moving slightly, like it's being repeated manually. Someone is out there. Someone is alive. Enzo swallowed hard. Ow. What if it's a trap? Tarek didn't answer. He opened the comm line to Command HQ. This is Patrol Ship Vigil. Sector 9G. We have detected a possible human distress signal from the Meridian Belt. Requesting permission to investigate. Minutes passed. Then the reply came, cold and clear. Commander Tarek, your orders are to ignore the signal. The Meridian Belt is off limits. Continue your patrol. Mara looked shocked. Ignore it, Enzo whispered. But if it's real? Tarek stood up. Prepare for silent jump. We're going in, sir. Mara said, surprised. This isn't just a ghost signal, Tarek said. If even one human survived, we can't leave them behind. He shut off the main beacon and switched the ship to stealth mode. Engines hummed low. No one would know where they were going. They jumped. The stars outside turned to streaks of light, then slowly faded. The Vigil dropped out of faster dawnlight near the Meridian Belt. It was quiet. The system was broken. Dead moons floated like bones. Old war wreckage drifted everywhere. Destroyed cruisers, shattered Varnock fighters, burned human escape pods. The signal grew stronger. Take pointed at a small moon near the edge of the system. It's coming from there. The moon looked empty. Gray rock. No lights. No base. But the scanner beeped. Life signs detected. Weak. Underground, the crew looked at each other. No one spoke. Suddenly a blast came from behind. Red lasers. Fired from deep space, the ship shook. Enemy drones. Enzo shouted. They're using Earth tech. How? Mara yelled. Those designs are 80 years old. Tarek turned sharply. Evasive maneuvers. Don't fire back. They're warning us. The drones didn't aim to kill. They circled the Vigil, then pulled back. The signal on the screen pulsed faster. New message detected, the AI said. Translated message, leave now, do not follow, Tarek. Stared at the screen. Someone down there saw them. Shh. Someone still protected the secret. And they didn't want to be found. But Tarek had made his choice. Prepare landing gear, he ordered. We're going in. Tarek had already broken one. Rule now, he was ready to break more. The ship Vigil moved carefully toward the small dead moon. Outside the window, Everything was dark and quiet. Only the silent signal continued. Leave now, do not follow. But Tarek couldn't turn back. If even one human survived the fall of Earth, he had to know. He had to help. That was more important. Than orders, Enzo, he said. Keep the engines hot. If those drones return, we need to move fast. Yes, sir, Enzo replied, fingers flying over the controls. Mara, Tarek said, prepare the shuttle. We're going down. Mara looked unsure. Sir, we're disobeying direct orders. Tarek didn't blink. I know, she sighed. Okay, I'll get the gear ready. The shuttle detached from the Vigil and entered the moon's thin atmosphere. The ride was rough. The place was filled with debris. Old satellite junk. Frozen bombs. Metal parts from lost battles. Tarek watched out the window. The surface was full of scars from war. Long cracks, broken craters, melted steel. Then he saw it, a dark hole in the ground. Like a cave, but too perfect. Artificial. Target found, Mara said. Coordinates locked. They landed just outside. The entrance. The three of them, Tarek, Mara, and Enzo, stepped into the cold gray dust. Their suits protected them, but the silence was heavy. Not even wind, just space. And the warning in their helmets. Unknown life signs below. They entered the tunnel. The walls were metal, very old. Human design, but not like any normal base. This was hidden. Built to survive. As they moved deeper, small lights turned. On motion sensors. Someone was watching. Then a voice came through their suit combs. Rough, tired, human. Go back. You were told not to come. Tarek stopped. We're not here to fight. We followed a signal. Silence. Then the voice returned. Turn around before it's too late. We can't, Tarek said. You're human like us. If you're still alive, we need to know your story. We need to help. Suddenly a figure stepped out of the shadows. He wore an old Earth's military suit full of damage and patches. His face was pale, beard long, eyes tired but sharp. My name is Elias, the man said. I am the last guardian of this place. Tarek lowered his weapon. We're not enemies. Elias laughed once. It was bitter. You will be. Once you know the truth. He turned and walked deeper inside. If you've come this far, you might as well see it. They followed him into a large underground room. Lights flickered on. Tarek's eyes widened. Old Earth flags hung from the walls. Screens showed maps of long-lost cities. New York, Tokyo, Moscow. On one table, there were pictures of humans, men, women, children, families that once lived. Mara whispered, It's like a time capsule. No, Elias said, it's more than that. He walked to a sealed door and pressed a handprint. The door opened. Inside was a massive machine, glowing faint blue. Wires ran deep into the ground. It hummed with power. This, Elias said, is the last weapon Earth made before it died. Tarek stepped closer. What does it do? Elias looked straight at him. It lights the stars. Nobody spoke. Then Elias continued. Before the Varnock destroyed Earth, a secret group escaped. They came here. They built Haven, this base. They knew the war would end badly, but they didn't want humanity to vanish forever. Tarek asked, What happened to the others? Elias turned away. Time happened. Cold, hunger, disease, hope died. Now I am the last. But why send the signal now? Mara asked. I didn't, Elias replied. The system sent it by mistake. Fault in the power lines. I tried to stop it, but it was too late. Now they will come. Tarek looked at him. The Varnock. Yes, Elias said. They will see the signal. And they will come to finish what they started. Tarek clenched his jaw. Then we'll help you stop them. Elias shook his head. You don't understand. This base is a secret, if they find it. If they find the weapon, they'll destroy it. Can't fight them alone. Tarek stepped forward. Not alone anymore. Elias led Tarek and his crew deeper underground. The air felt colder. The walls were dark and silent. The deeper they went, the older everything looked broken. Wires, flickering lights, rusted doors. This place is called Haven, Elias said. Built by the last survivors of Earth, we were meant to live here forever. Tarek looked around. The hall was empty. So quiet. Where is everyone now? Elias stopped walking. For a long moment, he didn't speak. Then he said, dead. All of them. Mira lowered her eyes. Enzo looked around nervously. Elias pointed toward a wide door. This is the station core. You need to see it. They entered a large room, a control center. Screens covered the walls. Most were dark. A few blinked slowly. Some showed static. Others showed outside views, the broken surface of the moon, space debris, and the blinking light of the old signal tower. One screen showed Earth. Not the real one, just a still image. Blue and green. Beautiful. It hurt to look at. Elias stepped toward a main console. He pressed a button. The lights above turned bright white. A humming sound filled the room. Then a voice, soft, female, and human, echoed through the speakers. Welcome back, Elias. Haven Systems Online, Mara gasped. An AI, yes? Elias said. Her name is Liberty. She was created to protect the last of us. She knows everything about Earth. And the war. Tarek stepped closer. Can she talk to us? Elias nodded. Liberty, he said. Meet Commander Tarek of the Galactic Watch, the AI responded. Commander Tarek, you are not listed in my records. Are you friend or foe? Friend, Tarek said firmly. We received a signal. We came to help. Liberty paused. That signal was not meant to be sent. It is dangerous. The Varnock will detect it. We already know, Tarek said. That's why we need to prepare. Elias moved to a small table, picked up a dusty photo and showed it to them. This was my family. My father helped build Haven. My mother taught children in the learning chamber. All gone now. He placed the photo back gently. I grew up here, trained here, watched every friend die. And now, for the first time in years, someone finally. K. Mara asked quietly, why didn't you call for help before? Elias sighed, because no one cared. Earth was destroyed. Elias turned the page. Humans were forgotten. We were ghosts. He looked at Tarek. But now that you're here, maybe it's time to stop hiding. Suddenly, Liberty's voice changed. Alert. Motion detected in near orbit. 3 unknown ships, Varnock design. Everyone froze. How did they find us so fast? Enzo asked. Elias answered. They watched the stars closely. They've been waiting. The signal lit a match. Now they've seen the fire. Tarek moved fast. Can you launch defenses? Elias ran to a panel. We have some drones. Old but working. And auto turrets. Liberty, activate Haven defense. Protocol. Confirmed. Defense protocol online. All entry points sealed. Weapons charged. Tarek turned to his crew. Get back to Vigil. Prepare for possible retreat. What about you? Mara asked. I'll stay, he said. We need to learn more. We need to decide what to do next. Enzo looked scared. 3 Varnock ships. We can't win that fight. Elias smiled slightly. You don't know humans, boy. We never win the easy way. Tarek nodded. Send all data to the Vigil. Full scan of Haven AI records. That weapon you mentioned, we may need it. Elias looked at him. It's not ready. It hasn't been tested. And it needs a living source to power it. What kind of source? Tarek asked. Elias said nothing. Silence was the answer. Then Liberty spoke again. Varnock ships entering low orbit. Countdown to contact. 15 minutes. Tarek turned to Elias. If you want to run, now is the time. But Elias shook his head. I've run for 80 years. I'm tired of running. Tarek smiled slightly. Then let's show them what human ghosts can do. The control room lights flickered. Warning sirens echoed through Haven's underground base. Liberty's voice stayed calm, but urgent. Varnock ships are now in range. Outer defenses engaged. Estimated time until ground breach, 12 minutes. Elias moved quickly between old panels and switches, fingers dancing like he had done this 1,000 times. Tarek watched him. You've been alone here all this time? He asked. Elias nodded. Since I was 17. My father died in the last food riot. Mother got sick. After that, I was the only one left. Mara and Enzo stood near the main screen, watching red dots move closer. The Varnak were not wasting time. They were coming straight for the base. Tara looked Elias in the eyes. Back in the tunnel, you said this base has a weapon? Something that can light up the stars. What is it? Elias stopped moving. His hands slowly dropped to his sides. It's called the torch, he said. It's more than a weapon. It's a signal. A scream, ... and a sword, pointed to. A sealed elevator at the far wall. Come, I'll show you. They rode the elevator down. It creaked with age. The deeper they went, the louder the hum of energy became. This place, Elias said, was built by the last group of scientists and engineers from Earth. They knew the war was lost. They knew no one would save them. So they planned something terrible and beautiful. The elevator stopped. The doors opened. The room beyond was huge, a round chamber glowing with soft blue light. In the center stood a tall machine, covered in wires and metal plates. It looked like a tower, but the top glowed like fire trapped in glass. The torch, Elias said. It can send a signal across the galaxy, instantly. A call for help. A warning. Or it can burn. Terek walked around it. Burn how? Elias tapped a control panel. A hologram appeared. It showed a Varnak fleet in space. Then, a pulse of light. The ships exploded like paper. This thing, Elias said, can destroy ships with a blast of pure star energy. We used Earth's sun to create it. Copied the core's power, but it was never tested. Mara asked, why not? Elias looked away. Because to power it fully, it needs a human. Everyone went silent. A living person must enter the core, Elias said. Their life force, their body heat, their energy, all of it is used. That's the price. Terek stared at the machine, so the weapon kills its own user. Elias nodded. Yes, Enzo said softly. That's horrible. No, Elias replied. That's sacrifice. That's what humans do. We give everything for something greater. Suddenly, Liberty's voice cut in. Outer door breached. Enemy drones entering the lower tunnels. ETA to control room, 6 minutes. Terek clenched his fists. We don't have time. Leah stepped forward. I'll do it. Mira gasped. You. I've lived my whole life here, Elias said. Alone. Watching everyone I love die. This is the end, then let it be a good one. Tarek shook his head. No, we just got here. You don't even know what this war looks like now? Elias smiled. I know enough. The Varnak haven't changed. They still want to wipe out every trace of us. You think they'll stop with this base? No? This signal will wake up every human cell hiding in the galaxy. It will bring hope, but only if it's lit. Terek looked at the torch again. It hummed louder now. It's like it was waiting. Elias walked toward the entry platform. Chamber opened, glowing with light. I was born in the dark, he said. Let me light the stars. Terek grabbed his arm. Wait, there might be another way. But Elias only smiled. Sometimes, ... The only way forward, ... is through fire. He stepped inside. The chamber closed. The lights turned red. The torch began to glow brighter like a small sun waking up. Liberty's voice returned. Power rising. Torch sequence started. Signal will launch in 60 seconds. Terek turned to his team. Back to the ship. Now they ran through the tunnels. The walls shook. Explosions echoed behind them. Drones were inside now. But the torch was faster. As they reached the shuttle, the ground trembled. A beam of white gold light shot from the moon into the sky. Not just light power, it spread like waves across space. In the command screen of Vigil, every system lit up. Signal received. 8. Broadcasting galaxy-wide. Emergency human code activated. The torch had fired. From the small dead moon in the Meridian Belt, a beam of pure light blasted into the stars. It was not just energy, it was a message. Signal in human code. We are alive. We will fight. Across the galaxy, hundreds of listening posts picked it up. Forgotten satellites turned on. Old human tech buried deep in dust or oceans blinked to life. Hidden rebel groups paused their silence. The humans were not gone. One had lit the fire, back in space, above the moon. Commander Tarek stood on the bridge of his ship. Vigil, the torch, still burned in the sky behind him. Enzo looked at the radar screen. "Sir, the Varnock fleet is moving. Fast. All of them." Tarek narrowed his eyes. "How many?" "Too many," Enzo said quietly. 6 large warships, dozens of drones. They're all heading for this system. Mira stared at the map. "Want to crush this place before the signal spreads too far?" "It's already too late," Tarek said. "The message is out. The galaxy knows. But can we hold them off?" Mira asked. Terra turned to Liberty, the AI now linked to Vigil. "What's left of Haven's defense?" Liberty's voice echoed calmly. "All surface weapons are offline. The torch used most of the power. 3 aerial drones remain, no long-range missiles." Enzo said, "Sir, this is suicide. We should leave. Warn the council. Bring backup." Tarek looked at the torch's fading light, thought about Elias. The man who gave his life to make that signal possible. "We're not leaving," Tarek said. "If we run now, the Varnock will wipe Haven from history. Elias died to send that message. We will not let it be erased." Mara stood tall beside him. "Then we fight." Tarek nodded. "We fight." In deep space, the Varnock ships came closer. Their leader, Commander Gordel, watched the light beam on his screen. His face was cold, his voice full of hate. "Humans," he growled, "always crawling back from death. Burn their signal, destroy their bones, make the galaxy forget." His ships activated weapons, plasma cannons charged, drones launched. Back in orbit, Vigil prepared for battle. Liberty spoke. "Incoming enemies in 3 minutes. Shall I assist with?" "Targeting," yes, Tarek said. "Coordinate with our systems. Give me every advantage you've got." Enzo's hands shook as he powered the weapons. "We can't win a head-on fight. We need a trick." Mara snapped her fingers. "What?" "About the mining field. Haven had old mines stored under the rock belt nearby." Liberty responded. "Confirmed. 27 inactive mines located in Belt Sector 4. Reactivation possible with energy boost." Tarek smiled. "That's our trap." "Enzo, take us toward Belt Sector 4, Mara. Get ready to send that energy spike." The Vigil raced through space, leaving a trail behind. The Varnock chased, not knowing what waited. As they entered the asteroid belt, Tarek gave the order. Now, Mara hit the switch. Liberty pulsed power into the mines. One by one. Boom, boom, boom. The belt lit up with fire. Varnock drones were torn apart. One warship took a direct hit and spun off course, burning, but the rest kept coming. Inside. Vigil's sparks flew. The ship was hit. "We've lost left shields," Enzo yelled. "Keep going," Tarek shouted. "We lead them away from Haven. Every minute we buy. The signal spreads farther." Mara said, "Sir, new message from unknown. Source, coming through." On the screen, a new face appeared. A woman in a gray cloak. Behind her was a symbol, Old Earth Military. "This is Captain Lena of the Hidden Flame," she said. "We received your signal. Reinforcements inbound." Tarek's eyes widened. "I thought the flame was a myth." "Not anymore," Lena said. "We've waited a long time for a reason to return. You gave us one." Suddenly, warp gates opened near the moon. 3 human ships appeared, old, repaired, but strong. They opened fire on the Varnock. The space around Haven became a battlefield. Tarek, single quotes as heart pounded. For the first time in decades, humans were fighting back together. The battlefield above the moon burned with light and fire. The Vigil flew side by side with 3 new human ships from the Hidden Flame. They were older models, their armor scratched, their weapons old, but they flew with pride. Each shot they fired screamed one message: "We are still here." Inside the Vigil, Tarek watched as Varnak drones exploded one by one, but the fight was not over. Far from it, Captain Lena, he said over the comms. How many ships do you have? Only 3 for now, she answered. We were hiding deep in the Veil Nebula. But when your torch lit the stars, every hidden human fleet got the same call. Tarek smiled. More are coming? Lena nodded. Yes. Not just soldiers. Scientists. Engineers. Survivors. You gave them hope. Down below in the underground base called Haven, the AI Liberty kept working. New power readings detected. Human signals rising in 12 sectors, she said. Message from Earth's ruins received. Underground relay activated. Though Earth was destroyed, parts of it lived on. Caves, data bunkers. One final seed of human life had survived under the planet's surface, and now? It had awakened. Liberty turned on the ancient speakers inside Haven. An old voice played, the voice of a human girl, recorded long ago. To anyone out there, if you're listening, don't give up. Humans never give up. Back in orbit, Mara fixed the shield control panel with sparks flying around her. We've got 35% shields on the left side now, Enzo cheered. That's better than nothing. Focus, Enzo, Tarek said, watching the battle unfold. How many Varnak ships? Left. Enzo checked the display. 2 heavy cruisers. 15 drones. But they're pulling back. Mara frowned. Why would they retreat? Then a new alert rang out. Varnak reinforcements entering system, Liberty warned. 10 more warships inbound, 5 minutes away. Tarek gritted his teeth. They want to erase Haven before the rest of the humans wake up? Captain Lena's voice returned. We'll never hold that many off. Not without something stronger. Tarek looked at the screen showing Haven. The torch was offline, still glowing, but empty. He had an idea. Liberty, he said. How fast can we repair the torch? The core is empty, she replied. It needs a new energy source. Mara stepped forward. We could hook it to the Vigil's core. Drain all our ship's power. Tarek looked at her. If we do? We can't run. She shrugged. We weren't planning to, right? Tarek smiled. Make it happen. In minutes, the Vigil docked with Haven. Thick cables were connected between the ship and the base. The energy from the ship flowed into the torch chamber, inside the control room. Liberty activated the charging cycle. Torch charging, 12%, 26%, 50%. Captain Lena's ships covered the moon as long as they could, but they were outgunned. One of her ships was hit badly and spun out of control. Captain Lena, Tarek called. I'm alive, she replied, but we're running out of time. Torch charging, 70%, 85%, 95%. Suddenly, the enemy was above them. 2 Varnak ships broke through the defense line and aimed for the moon. Plasma weapons charged. One shot, just one, could destroy the base. Fire now, Lena yelled. We don't have time. Arek, shouted Liberty. Do it. Fire the torch. Firing torch in 3, 2, 1. The beam fired, brighter than before. It tore through space like a sword made of light. It sliced both enemy ships in half. The sky above the moon turned white for a second, then dark again. The Varnak ships stopped moving. Tarek's crew cheered. Enzo raised a fist. That's what I call human fire. Elsewhere in the galaxy, the light reached other places. Deep in the asteroid colonies, old Earth space stations, human sleeper cells, underground camps. One by one, humans stood up. Some wore rags, some had weapons, others just had hope, but they all saw the same light. The humans were back, on the Vigil. Tarek looked at his team, tired, dirty, alive. You all did well, he said. Elias would have been proud. Mara smiled. We're just getting started. Liberty's voice spoke again. Incoming message from human fleet. 23 ships. Arriving soon. Tarek's eyes burned with fire. Then let them come, he said. We've got a war to finish. The light of the torch still glowed above the moon. like a star that refused to die. Commander Tarek stood inside Haven's control room. His ship Vigil was docked nearby, drained of power but safe. Around him, Mara and Enzo helped repair systems. Liberty, the AI, was busy linking human fleets across the galaxy. But Tarek had a feeling this isn't over yet, he said. Liberty's calm voice replied, confirmed. Varnak's signal still present. One flagship remains hidden behind the gas. Giant. It is not moving, possibly observing. Mara frowned. Why wait? Why not attack? Tarek looked at the central screen, because they're looking for something. Elias said there was more in Haven. Something deeper, a secret. Liberty responded, confirmed. One lower level remains sealed. Requires special access code. Tarek stared at the glowing interface, whose code? Elias's Liberty. Replied. For a moment silence filled the room. Then Tarek spoke. If he trusted us enough to die for the torch, we have to trust him now. Liberty, override the lock. Let us in. Code override accepted. Tarek, Mira, and Enzo entered the deep elevator shaft under Haven. They went down farther than before. The walls turned darker, colder, older. At last, the doors opened into a massive underground chamber. It was nothing like the rest of Haven. This part of the base looked ancient. Metal panels were worn. Strange symbols covered the walls. Not all of them were human, Mel whispered. What is this place? Liberty's voice came through a wall speaker. This is Project Ember, Earth's last hope. They stepped forward. In the center of the room stood a tall black device. Different from the torch, this machine looked alien. Half built from human tech, half from something else. Tay looked shocked. That's not fully Earth-made, Liberty. Confirmed. Correct. In their final days, human scientists recovered alien parts from fallen Varnak ships. They used that knowledge to build this, the Ember Core. Enzo stared at it. What does it do? It stores all of Earth's knowledge, Liberty explained. Technology, science, history, culture, DNA from every plant and animal, human dreams, human pain, everything. Tarek walked slowly around the machine. It's like a digital arc. Yes, Liberty said. If humanity fell completely, Ember would be launched toward another galaxy to start again. Mara was speechless. They built a backup of Earth. But Liberty's tone changed. However, the Ember Core was never launched, Elias believed. There was still hope. He believed Earth would rise again. Tarek clenched his jaw. And now the Varnak are trying to find this place. Correct, Liberty replied. If they take the Ember Core, they will erase everything. Not just life, but memory. Enzo asked, can we move it? No, Liberty said. Large, but it can be armed. Tarek raised an eyebrow. Armed, yes, Liberty said. A self-destruct failsafe. It will destroy the Ember Core before the Varnak take it. Mara looked horrified. We can't blow up Earth's last legacy. Tarek stayed calm. We won't, not unless we have no choice. Suddenly, an alarm rang. Warning, Varnak flagship is launching troops. Ground attack imminent. Tarek turned fast. I need to defend this place. He looked at Mara and Enzo. I'll stay down here with Liberty. You to get to the surface. Rally the new human fleet. Tell Captain Lena we hold the core, or we lose everything. Enzo hesitated. What if we can't stop them? Tarek gave him a hard look. Then we hit the failsafe. Mara and Enzo left quickly. Tarek stayed behind, staring at the Ember Core. It pulsed softly. Not with power, but with memory. He could almost hear voices, laughter, music, screams, stories of a world that was once full of life. He touched the console. I won't let them take you, he whispered. Above, chaos began. Varnak dropships entered the moon's atmosphere. Troops landed near Haven's surface. Human defenders fought back, led by Captain Lena, Mara, and Enzo. The battle was brutal. Inside, Liberty updated Tarek. They are coming through the main tunnel, 2 levels away. Tarek took a deep breath. Begin defense protocol. Walls shifted. Hidden turrets appeared. The room shook with explosions. Still, the Varnak came. Then Liberty said, "One life form has entered Haven's tunnel from the far side, unidentified." "What?" Tarek asked. "Show me." A screen lit up. A figure in armor walked through the dust. Alone. Human. The face under the helmet looked familiar. Elias Turs. That's impossible. He died. Liberty spoke carefully. Negative. Elias survived torch ignition. His body was severely damaged, but Ember systems kept him alive. Barely. The figure raised a hand. "Permission to finish what I started," he said through the cum. His voice cracked. "Elias, you're alive. Not for long," he said, "but long enough." The blast doors of the Ember core chamber opened, and Elias stepped inside. His body was different now, burned, wrapped in armor, half machine. His face was pale, eyes glowing faint blue. Metal supported his limbs, but his voice was still human. Tay stared at him in disbelief. "We thought you died." "The torch, I did die," Elias said, "but the Ember kept me alive. Just enough. I wasn't ready to go. Not while the fight wasn't finished." Tarek stepped forward. "You shouldn't be moving." Elias gave a weak smile. "This isn't about what I should do. This is about what must be done." Outside, the war grew louder. Captain Lena's voice came through the cums. "We're losing ground. Varnak are pushing toward the lower levels. Tarek, they want the core." Tarek replied. "Buy us 10 more minutes. That's all we need." Lena answered. "We'll hold. Even if it kills us." The Ember core chamber began to shake. Dust fell from the ceiling. Liberty's voice returned, calm but clear. "Warning. Varnak, breach 2 levels above. 40 soldiers inbound. Time to contact. 8 minutes." Elias moved toward the Ember's control panel. "We can't let them get this." Tarek placed a hand on his shoulder. "We can still evacuate it, no," Elias said. "It's too heavy, too complex. We have one option. We use the Ember as it was meant to be used." Tarek frowned. "You mean launch it?" Elias nodded. "Yes, launch the core toward the Andromeda Gate. Send all of Earth's memory far away. Somewhere safe. Let humans rise again." Tarek shook his head. "But the launch system was never finished." "That's what they thought," Elias said. "But my father worked on it in secret. He believed it would work. So do I." Liberty confirmed. "Launch system is 78% operational. Final activation requires 1 manual trigger from inside." Tarek's eyes widened. "You'll have to go with it." Elias nodded slowly. "Every arc needs a guide." Tarek stepped back. "There has to be another way." "There isn't," Elias said. "But I'm not afraid. My life has been spent guarding memories. It ends the same way. Above." Captain Lena and her ships fought hard. Skies were on fire. Mara and Enzo led ground troops through Haven's upper halls, using every drone, turret, and trick they had left. But still, the Varnak came closer. Inside the Ember chamber, the final steps were taken. Elias entered the launch capsule. AA. Glass tube inside the core. Lights blinked. Systems powered up. The Ember core began to lift slowly on a hidden platform toward the surface. Liberty announced. "Launch platform rising. Guidance system locked. Andromeda Gate coordinates confirmed." Tarek stood by, watching. Elias looked at him one last time. "Promise me you'll keep the fight going." Tarek nodded, his voice firm. "I swear it." Then Elias whispered, "Light the stars." And the Ember core launched. From the surface of the moon, a second beam, not like the torch, but golden and soft, rose into the sky. It carried the dreams of an entire world, 1,000 voices, 1,000,000 hopes. Everything that Earth once was, it shot toward deep space. Headed for a faraway place where humanity might begin again, the Varnak. Flagship saw it too late. It tried to intercept the Ember with missiles, but Captain Lena's ships blocked the path. They were hit, burned. Some were lost, but the Ember escaped. The Varnak fired one final shot at Haven, and missed. They turned and fled across their network. One thing became clear: humanity could not be erased. Back in the control room, Liberty's voice was soft. Ember Core launched successfully. Signal stable. Elias's vitals fading. Tarek stood in silence. He felt sadness, but also peace. Mara walked in, face bruised, armor cracked. "Is it over?" she asked. Tarek nodded. "The stars will remember." Enzo entered behind her. "Fleet Command just confirmed. More human ships arriving from the edge sectors. Hundreds. Maybe more." Tarek looked at the main screen. For the first time in 100 years, the human network was alive. Fleets connecting, colonies reporting in, new leaders rising, hope spreading. The torch had lit the way. Ilias's sacrifice had sent a message stronger than any weapon. Tarek sat down in the command chair. "It's time we stop hiding. It's time we rebuild." Mara smiled. "Fight back." Dark looked out the window at the stars. "No," he said. "We rise. We remember. We protect what's ours." He stood and raised a hand. "To all who hear this, the humans are not gone. We are not lost. We are the fire."